Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So, Gemini, today we're going to go over your overall energy as well as your person's overall energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking into this direction and are moving forward. But before we get into tarot, just keep in mind that time is fluid. So this could either currently be happening or maybe happening at a later date. Also, keep in mind that this is a general reading. So this reading may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't, feel free to check out your other placements. But with all that being said, Gemini, let's get into it. We're going to focus on your energy first, and then we'll jump over to your person's energy. What's the overall energy for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? All right, so we do have attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. I'm kind of getting the Queen of Pentacles to the Eight of Swords with this energy specifically. For some of you, you might have Capricorn within your chart. The Eight of Swords does represent Gemini energy, but the Eight of Swords basically represents self-imprisonment mode. It could also represent that there is a whole lot of overthinking on your behalf. Yeah. I feel like Gemini, you may find yourself questioning if somebody's very, I feel like you're questioning if someone currently in your life is actually very serious about you or not. Like, I'm kind of getting that there's like some confusion there because you know you're very committed, right? And devoted to like this person and this connection and, you know, making things work between the two of you. But I just kind of feel like there's something that they're doing on their end that's leading you to like question like how serious they actually are about you and how committed and devoted they actually are. You know, about you and this connection that they share with you. I am definitely getting that for you. What's the overall energy for the person Gemini is connecting with or will be connecting with? Well, we do have this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. I do feel like this person that you currently find yourself connecting with does view you, you know, like the perfect person for them, which basically makes sense now as to why I was kind of getting the Queen of Pentacles for your energy. Because for those of you who don't know this, the Queen of Pentacles is actually the perfect partner card, just like the King of Pentacles is actually the perfect partner card. So it makes sense as to why this person's looking at you like you're their person. It makes sense as to why this person's looking at you like you're perfect for them. It makes sense. But what's the overall energy for this connection? Oh, okay. So we do have very soon, and then we also have let go of control issues. You know, I'm kind of being drawn. I'm kind of being drawn to this feminine energy in the card over here. For some of you, you could very well be a mother, possibly even a father. I am definitely getting that for some of you. So more of the story is that for some of you out there, you could very well be parents. But man, look at this masculine energy over here, just sitting there thinking, you know, staring at this feminine energy over here. I feel like this masculine energy, Gemini, I feel like this masculine energy that you currently find yourself connecting with, it's like this person's trying to like figure out like your next move. It's as if this person wants to be 10 steps ahead of you is like the best way that I can describe what I'm seeing here and what I'm sensing here. Yeah, it's like they're trying to figure out like what's on your mind just so that way they could be 10 steps ahead of you. You know what I mean? Just so that way they don't get blindsided by anything. Interesting. Okay. Let's get into it, shall we? We're going to focus on you first. We're going to see how you're currently viewing this relationship, and then we'll jump over to your person and see how they're currently viewing this relationship with you. Look, Queen of Pentacles. All right, how does Gemini currently view this relationship? Okay. Let's see, Gemini. Okay, so we do have the Two of Pentacles, we do have the Four of Pentacles, and then we also have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, for some of you, you might have Capricorn within your chart, because I keep getting Capricorn energy with the Queen of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles to the Two of Pentacles, which does represent Capricorn energy. Nine of Cups does represent Pisces energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn or possibly a Pisces. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but in regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, it looks like there's a really big decision that you have to make. I am definitely getting that. With the Four of Pentacles coming out here, that's kind of telling me that You're holding off on making this decision. You're definitely holding off on making this decision. Now, I do want to look at the Two of Pentacles just to kind of get a rough idea of what's going on here on your end, because I am definitely getting an overall energy of like contemplation coming from you. Like, should I do this or should I not do this? I am definitely getting that, but I do feel like you're holding off on making any sort of, major decisions as of right now. I am definitely getting that. With the Nine of Cups coming out here, I just feel like this decision of yours has a lot to do with you feeling like you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. I think that you're realizing that you may find yourself in a situation that may not be serving you, that may not be healthy for you, that may be extremely toxic for you, that may not even be serving you in any way, shape, or form. But I am definitely getting that this decision of yours, it is stemming from a place of you wanting to do what's best for you. I feel like you know what you have to do, though, Gemini. Yeah, I feel like you know what you have to do. I just feel like you're holding off on doing it for whatever reason. So let's get into this. I'm going to use a different tarot deck to clarify this Two of Pentacles energy with the cards in the upright as well as in the reverse. Tell me more about the Two of Pentacles for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that the roles can be reversed. All right, tell me more about the Two of Pentacles for Gemini. So we do have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Okay, could be dealing with a Pisces strongly. Tell me more about the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so we do have the Lovers in the reverse. We also have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and then we also have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. What has you contemplating, should I do this or should I not do this, has a lot to do with this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. With the Ten of Pentacles coming out here, this could definitely represent somebody that you share finances with, somebody that you share a home with. For some of you might have a family with this person. But I am definitely getting that this whole, like, should I do this or should I not do this, has a lot to do with this person that you currently find yourself connecting with, as well as your relationship with them. I just feel like this person just continues to like do things within this relationship that's very unhealthy and toxic. You know what I mean? For you, as well as this dynamic that they share with you. It's basically what I'm getting. With the Knight of Cups coming out here in the reverse, that's kind of telling me that this person has a very difficult time following through on things. Like, this is that type of person that'll, like, sit here and tell you, Gemini, I promise I'm not going to do this to you ever again. And then they turn around and they put you through it again. It's basically what I'm getting. Which kind of makes sense as to why, again, I was kind of getting the whole Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles energy for you. Because, again, it's the energy of, well, I know I'm serious. I know I want to make this work. I just don't know if they do. And I feel like it's mainly because this person has been doing things, like I said, within this dynamic that they share with you that leads you to think that maybe, just maybe, this person's not as serious about this connection as you are. Which makes sense, as to why we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse for your person's energy. This person has a very difficult time following through on things. It's like they turn around and tell you, I'm not going to do this again, but then they turn around and do that again. It's like this person tells you, I want to make this work, but they do everything under the sun to make the relationship between the two of you not work. You see what I mean? Okay. So, all right, now we know, okay, I think that at this point, when it comes down to this Two of Pentacles energy, as far as like what you're really contemplating here, I feel like it has a lot to do with you contemplating, should you stay or should you go? Now, with the Four of Pentacles, like I said, you're holding off on making this decision, okay? So even though you're contemplating right now on potentially leaving this person, right now, I just, like I said, just kind of see holding off on doing that. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles for Gemini. There you go again. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles. This person that you're currently connecting with, let me just focus on them and get them out the way really quickly here. I am definitely getting an apology coming from this person to you, especially with the Emperor in the reverse. I feel like this person is apologizing to you, Gemini, for whatever it is that this person said and or did. I am definitely getting that. So this person could very well be apologizing to you for, not keeping, their word, keeping their promise to you, following through on what they said they were going to do. You know what I mean? Like, this person could very well be apologizing to you for that. But with the Emperor coming out here in the reverse, how do I explain what I'm seeing here? How do I explain what I'm seeing here? Because I do want you to take this with you when it comes down to this decision of yours that that you basically have to make. I feel like this person has a very difficult time, like, taking accountability for their actions and the way that they show up in this dynamic that they share with you. I am definitely getting that strongly. But I'm trying to put into words what this freaking person's doing right now. Okay, I got it. All right, so this person, like I said, Gemini, they could very well be apologizing to you for something that they said and or did, and taking accountability for whatever it is that they said and or did. They might even go as far as to tell you, you know what, I messed up, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. Now, there's nothing wrong in them apologizing to you for whatever it is that they said and or did. This is kind of where I feel like it gets a little tricky too, because whatever it is that they're apologizing to you for, the fact that the Page of Cups is in the upright, it's interesting because it like wanted to kind of flip that way. Well, that's interesting. I feel like this person, or maybe that's something that they used to do in the past. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe this person used to apologize to you in the past for certain things that they would say and or do, but they didn't necessarily mean it. But like I said, whatever it is that this person's apologizing to you for now, okay, it is coming from a genuine and sincere place. Now, if the Page of Cups is in the reverse, this is them just talking out of their rear end, and just telling you whatever it is that they think you want to hear. But with the Page of Cups coming out in the upright, that's telling me that whatever it is that they are apologizing to you for, they truly do mean it. Like, they truly are sorry. I think that the only issue, and that's why I'm saying this is where it kind of gets a little complicated, right? Because the only issue that I am kind of saying here with this person is that although, yes, they are sorry, I feel like this person, because they tend to justify their behavior, it just becomes a repeated thing in this dynamic. You know what I mean? It just starts to become a repeated thing within this dynamic, because even though they're telling you, you know what, Gemini, I'm really sorry for, screaming at you, and I shouldn't have done that, Gemini, but, like, I was just having a bad day at work. So it's like, now it's like, okay, so every time they have a bad day at work, you know what I mean? They're going to continue to yell at you because they feel justified, in yelling at you because they had a bad day, you know what I mean, at work. Again, just using it as an example. And this is kind of why I feel like they continue to show up in the ways that they continue to show up in this dynamic, because they always have an excuse as to why they show up in the ways that they show up within this dynamic. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of like the tricky thing about, this entire situation is that, yes, although they are sorry, and it is coming from a very genuine, sincere place, and they are taking accountability for whatever it is that they did say and or do that was definitely out of line, because they are acknowledging that, it's like it's still going to be like a repeated thing in this dynamic, because again, it's like they always find a way to justify to themselves, including you, why they did what they did, as if it's okay, as if it's acceptable, and the likelihood of history repeating itself and them coming home from work and, taking it out on you, might definitely occur again, because they feel justified in doing that because they had a bad day at work. You see what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they're taking accountability. They're acknowledging where they basically went wrong, but they're not really putting forth the effort towards making it a thing of the past because they feel just in whatever it is that they did say and or do. Does that make sense? All right, so we have the Queen of Pentacles. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. The Knight of Pentacles coming out here in the reverse, this to me feels like an energy of you being extremely unsure if you actually want to continue to proceed forward and this dynamic that you share with this person. So although they are apologizing to you and they are taking accountability for whatever it is that they did say and or do, while also justifying their behavior, because that's going to happen. They're going to take accountability, but they're also going to justify their behavior. It still kind of has you like in this energy of like limbo. You know what I mean? It's like you don't really know if you want to proceed forward with this person or not, is basically what I'm getting. With the Queen of Pentacles coming out here for you, especially with the Nine of Cups, again, it's the energy of you wanting to do what's best for you at the end of the day and trying to essentially figure out what is actually best for you at the end of the day. Is it remaining with this person or is it being without this person? And I feel like you're trying to like really figure that out, because despite whatever happened here between you and this person, let's say that, you know, like I said, let's just say this person came home from work or something like that and they had a bad day and they took it out on you and you didn't really like that or appreciate that. And then, you know, it turned into like a really big fight / argument, you know, because, you know, they felt just, you know, and taking out their anger and their frustration out on you, you know what I mean? Because they had a bad day at work, you know what I mean? It's like, even though, yeah, they did what they did and you may have not liked it, I feel like the main reason why we kind of see you holding off on like walking away from this relationship is because I do feel like this connection between you and this person, it does bring some good into your life. Like, although you may not like the fact that this person comes home from work, especially having a bad day at work and they take it out on you, you know, there's a lot of good, I would say, in this person. And I think that you know that, and I think that you can see that, but I also think that you can see the bad in this person as well. And that's kind of what we see you kind of focusing on right now, is like the bad within this person and whether or not this is something that you want to continue to deal with and or tolerate, is basically what I'm getting. All right, let's jump over to your human. Oh, come on. I'm being drawn to like this masculine energy staring at this feminine energy, especially with very soon. Very soon basically represents the Two of Wands in tarot. You could also look at this like the Two of Swords in tarot. I feel like it's leaning far more towards the Two of Swords than it is the Two of Wands, mainly because with the Two of Wands, it's like Two of Wands for me represents like an energy of somebody who knows exactly what it is that they want to do and exactly how they want to move forward. Like their mind is essentially made up. Two of Swords though is somebody who doesn't really know whether to go left or to go right. And I feel like you're kind of leaning far more towards that Two of Swords like energy, if anything, where right now you don't really know whether to go left or go right. You don't know if you want to continue to stay and make this work or just outright leave it. Well, leave the relationship is what I meant to say. My apologies. So like I said, it's like I feel like this masculine energy is trying to figure out like where your head is at and what you plan on doing moving forward, considering what happened here. It's like they're trying to like, yeah, it's like they're trying to kind of like pick your brain, or they're going to find themselves trying to like pick your brain very soon. I am definitely getting that. Okay, come on. How does this person currently view, okay, this relationship? Okay, we have the Two of Wands, going back to like that Two of Wands energy again. Anybody who harnesses Two of Wands energy is just, you know, somebody who, you know, has their mind made up and knows exactly how they want to basically move forward. So when it comes down to you, Gemini, it's like their mind is essentially made up about you and what they want with you. They're very clear on that. You, on the other hand, not so much. It's like a part of you is like, I want to continue to be with this person, but I don't know if I should. You know what I mean? Given whatever happened here between you and this person. But we do have the Sun, and then we also have the Lovers out here. You know, It's interesting because I'm getting the energy, especially because we have the Two of Wands out here. Before the Two of Wands comes the Ace of Wands, which basically speaks of our own personal wants and desires. I feel like not only does this person want you and this connection that they share with you, but they also want the both of you to be happy. And I feel like that's kind of what's throwing me off the most, is this desire that they have for the two of you to be happy, especially given everything that we just saw within this person's energy. They continue to do things that prevent the two of you from being happy, like, you know, them making all these empty promises in your direction, and them constantly justifying their behavior to the point where it becomes a repetitive thing, to the point where it becomes a toxic thing. You know what I mean? I just don't think this person realizes that they are showing up in certain ways within the dynamic that they share with you that makes the relationship extremely toxic and unhealthy, while also just wanting the two of you to be happy. You know? That's like the epitome, right, of this person telling you, you know what, Gemini, I just don't want us to argue anymore. And every chance that they get, they're arguing with you. You know what I mean? It's like, I think anybody like would sit there and question, like, well, wait a minute, like, does this person not want us to argue? Because if they don't, why are they always picking an argument with me? Why are they always picking a fight with me? You see what I mean? It's like their words don't match up with their actions is basically what I'm getting here. They want the two of you to be happy, but then they do things that make you extremely unhappy and make the relationship in itself extremely toxic. Is everybody following me? Okay. Let me put my phone on charger. 1 second. Okay, we're back. So yeah, then there's that, you guys. Then there's that. Let's jump back over to you. How does Gemini currently feel? Okay. We have the World. We do have the Judgment card. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. And then we also have the Two of Cups out here, Gemini. Okay. Yeah, so going back to like what I said, Gemini, it's like I feel like the main reason why you're like holding off on like officially closing this cycle out here between you and this person is because the truth of the matter is that, granted, does this person know how to like communicate with you effectively? Probably not. Granted, does this person have a difficult time taking accountability for their actions? Probably. You know what I mean? But does this person also bring a lot of good into your life? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was kind of getting that with the Two of Cups to the Wheel of Fortune. That's telling me that this person does bring a lot of good into your life. Granted, do they bring certain things into your life that you really personally don't like and or want to deal with? Fuck yes. But, you know, I think that that's something that you're definitely considering, is that, yeah, like this person does this, that, and the third, and I really don't like that, and it really does dry out my last nerve. But you know what? They also bring a lot of good into my life. And it does appear to me that, yeah, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. You know, this, I don't know if you've ever heard of this before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but it's called the 80-20 rule. Now, basically what that means and what that is that, you know, right now, because I feel like that's exactly what you're dealing with, where you find yourself connecting with somebody who has 80% of what you're looking for within a person, and there's just, sorry, my bad. I got a phone call and then the freaking recording just stopped out of nowhere. But anyways, as I was saying, Gemini, my apologies for that. I had to put it on airplane mode. But anyways, as I was saying, Gemini, it's like you find yourself in like that whole like 80-20 type of situation where you find yourself connecting with someone who has, you know, 80% of what you're looking for, you know, within a person. And then they just kind of lack the rest. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of the situation that you basically find yourself in, Gemini. It's dealing with somebody who just has 80% of what you want within a person, and then there's just that 20% where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I can fucking deal with this shit right here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like that's the situation that you find yourself in. It's like you're it's like you're focusing on like the 20% that you don't like about this person. You're really asking yourself, is it really worth bringing this connection that you share with one another to an end? Like, is it that bad to the point where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I cannot, no, I just can't, no, I cannot do this. I cannot do this with this person. Um, or is that something that, you can overlook? Or is that something that you could, encourage and or help this person to essentially improve and or change about themselves? Either which way, the choice is entirely up to you. The decision is entirely up to you. But I do see you doing that. Like, you're like kind of focusing on the things that you don't really like about your partner. You're just like, is this really worth bringing this entire situation to an end? Or is it not? How does this person currently feel about this relationship? Yeah. Ooh. We have the Page of Swords. We got the Five of Swords. And then we also have the Eight of Swords. I see. I see. I want to talk about this real quick. With the Page of Swords to the Five of Swords, the Eight of Swords, this to me feels like a reflective energy coming from them. It's like they're spending a lot of time reflecting back on what occurred here between the two of you. Yeah, it's like they're reflecting back on like what occurred here between the two of you. They're spending a lot of time like thinking about it. And again, it's like, I'm really disappointed to see this energy coming from them. Again, like I'm really, really disappointed. And here's why. Because I feel like this person has a chance and the opportunity, especially as they're over here like reflecting back on what they said and what they did, to like realize where they went wrong. And it's like we kind of see them like, looking back at what they did, like, you know what, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have reacted this way. I shouldn't have reacted that way. I shouldn't have taken, my bad day at work, out on Gemini. That wasn't right. That wasn't fair, right? So we kind of see them initially at first, making progress, right? They're acknowledging what they did, and they're, realizing, you know what, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't right. You know what I mean? And then they fall back, into this energy of, but, I really did have a bad day at work, you know what I mean? But, Gemini really did like upset me. And it's like, again, it's the constant falling back into this energy of justifying their behavior. Like, I feel like this person has the perfect opportunity to like realize what they did, accept what they did, learn from it, grow from it, and make it a thing of the past. But it's like they continue to put themselves in this vicious cycle here by doing this. But I had a bad day at work. That's why I flipped out on Gemini. But it's because Gemini made me mad. That's why I flipped out on them. It's just because Gemini did this, and this is why I did that. You know what I mean? It's the constant, well, Gemini this and Gemini that, so that's why I did this and that's why I did that. And that's what that type of mindset that this person's in when it comes down to constantly justifying their behavior is concerned is what's basically preventing this person from maturing. Page of Swords basically represents an immature energy. An immature energy. This right here is what keeps this person. Yeah, this is what keeps this person from growing and evolving and maturing as an individual. It's this mindset. It's this, let me play the victim. It's this, let me justify my behavior. They're not doing themselves any good by doing this, and they're not doing this relationship any good by doing this, and they're not doing you any good by doing this. Like, I just don't, you know what I mean? I just don't see how this benefits, like, you or their relationship with you, let alone them, because this relationship between the two of you can totally come to an end if you turn around and bring it to an end. And they're going to move on with their life, you're going to move on with yours, and then they're going to get involved with someone else, and they're going to have the same issue of not being able to take accountability for their actions, constantly justifying their behavior, and and the same issues that you're having with them, and it's the same issues that they're going to find themselves having with someone else. You know what I mean? And nobody likes this. Nobody likes somebody who can't take accountability for their actions. Nobody likes someone who can't realize where they went wrong and make it their only mission and priority to correct that, change that, and make that a thing of the past. You know what I mean? Anyways, so we do have the Empress. I do feel like this is your energy. We have the Five of Pentacles, and then we also have the Six of Swords out here. Due to what occurred here between the two of you, it does kind of have this person feeling that they are pushing you away. Yeah, due to what occurred here between the two of you and whatever it is they said and or did, it does have this person essentially feeling like they are pushing you away. I am definitely getting that, and they personally don't like that. They don't like that because I don't feel like that's what their intentions were, I'm not going to sit here and say, this is their intentions, Gemini. Like, they did all this because they wanted to push you to this point of no return. I'm not going to sit here and say all of that because I'm definitely not getting that from them whatsoever. It might be perceived that way on your end, that they're doing all of these things to like purposely like push you to that point of no return. But I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. Especially with this energy coming out here, I'm definitely not getting that. I don't feel like this person did all of this with the intentions of pushing you to that point of no return. And this person does feel like, they just keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you and pushing you just further and further and further and further and further away from them. And it's interesting because all they want, look, we have the Strength card. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, this person, like, even though I'm not a huge fan and I'm really disappointed within this person, because this is like an opportunity for them to grow and evolve and mature as an individual. And I'm really disappointed in this person that they're not taking this opportunity to like learn the lesson that they need to learn and make this thing a thing of the past. You know what I mean? But anyways, with the Six of Cups coming out here to the Strength card, for those of you who don't know this, the person in the Strength card is the Empress, which you did show up, harnessing Empress energy. And then we have the Hierophant out here. And I accidentally mixed these two cards up because we got the Five of Pentacles already on this side. It happens. Anyways, if anything, I feel like this person wants to bring you closer and closer and closer to them. But again, it's like they're saying one thing, and I don't even know if this person realizes what they're doing. I don't even know if this person's consciously aware of this. They're saying one thing to you. Well, Gemini, I just want us to be happy. But it's like their actions are creating nothing but unhappiness within this dynamic that they share with you, right? They want to bring you closer and closer. So they're over here like, Gemini, I just want us to be close again. I just want us to be good. I just want us to be happy. I just want us to love on one another. But their actions, going back to their actions, are pushing you further and further and further away from them. Again, it's like their words are not matching up with their actions here. They're telling you that they want the two of you to be closer, but they continue to do things to push you further and further away from them. They're telling you that they want the two of you to be happy, but they're doing everything under the sun to make this entire dynamic between the two of you extremely toxic. And to be honest, miserable. Miserable. You see what I mean? It's like something's not aligning here, something's just not aligning here. And to be honest, I feel like the main reason why, like, their words don't match up with their actions has a lot to do with their level of, like, immaturity. It does. That's like what it all kind of boils down to, is their level of immaturity. This is why their words don't match up with their actions. This is why they make a lot of empty promises in your direction. This is why they have a difficult time following through on things. You know? You know what I mean? Okay, let's keep going. What actions will Gemini take towards this person or moving forward? All right, so Gemini, we do have the Hermit, we do have the Ace of Wands to the Nine of Pentacles. With the Hermit coming out here, that's telling me that you're spending a lot of time in isolation. This also is an energy, Gemini, of you honestly going from within and like really trying to like figure out like, what do you want at the end of the day? What's going to make you happy at the end of the day? Is it honestly remaining with this person, or is it just outright walking away from this relationship? So you're going to, in the near future, you're going to find yourself spending a lot of time away from this person. Great, I dropped the card. I'll get in a minute. But you're going to spend a lot of time away from this person and just simply like, in isolation. So that way you can really think long and hard about what you want to do here, because I could tell you don't want to make an impulsive decision. So this is kind of why we kind of see you going from within and really trying to figure out what you want to do at the end of the day and what's best for you at the end of the day. Whether that's to continue to remain with this person or not, the choice is entirely up to you, but I do see you trying to figure that out. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Wands, and then we also have the Two of Wands. So it looks like you're making a decision here. It looks like in the end, you're figuring out, okay, like this is what I want to do moving forward. And with the Two of Wands coming out here, that's telling me that not only are you figuring out what you want to do moving forward, you're sticking to it. You're sticking to whatever this decision is that you're making on your behalf. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Seven of Wands out here. We also have the Knight of Cups out here. And then we also have the Ten of Swords out here. I do want to clarify the Two of Wands to see exactly what it is that you're deciding to do in the end, because I do see you realizing exactly what you want to do moving forward, but this doesn't feel like you. This feels like somebody else's energy, and it's more than likely your person's energy. But with the Seven of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Ten of Swords coming out here, again, this is that same old energy that we were picking up on from this person. It's an energy of them, apologizing to you for whatever it is that they said, and or did. This is also them communicating to you that, they do want to fight, to make this relationship between the two of you work. They're also going to communicate to you that they don't want to lose you, and that they really do, like I said, just, want to do whatever it takes, right, to make this dynamic between the two of you work. Okay. I do want to clarify to see exactly what it is that you're going to do in the end, because that's basically what I'm more curious about, is what you're going to end up doing in the end. But actually, we're going to leave that for last, because I do want to see what actions they plan on taking in your direction and are moving forward. And then we'll see what you actually plan on doing in the end. But we do know so far that this person is going to apologize to you for whatever it is that they said and or did. We do see this person communicating to you in the near future that they don't want to lose you, that they really want to fight to make this relationship between the two of you work, and that they're willing to do whatever it takes. What actions will this person take towards Gemini or moving forward? Okay, so we do have the Ace of Wands, we got the Wheel of Fortune, and then we also have the Two of Pentacles. All right, in regards to how this person plans on moving forward, listen, Just listen, despite whatever happened here between you and this person, despite the way that they've been showing up in this dynamic that they share with you, that causes you to question if they're serious about you, that caused you to question if they really want to make this work, that caused you to question, you know, like, if they really do want this. I'm sorry. Like, if it's one thing that I will say about this human being to the right of me is that there is no denying. There is no denying that this person wants you. There is no denying that. There is no fucking denying that. There's no denying that. I'm not going to sit here and say, yo, this person doesn't want you. I'm not going to sit there and say all of that, because I can tell that this person wants you. There's no denying that. Absolutely not. There is no denying that whatsoever. Oh, they want you. They want you. And I feel like that's, you know, for the most part, pretty evident, is that they do want you, because it keeps showing up in their energy how much desire they have, you know, for you, and to continue to build and establish a life with you. There's no denying that. I'm not going to take that from them. However, there's a but to this. With the Hierophant to the Five of Swords to the Eight of Swords coming out here, I think it's going to hit them eventually that how they're showing up in this dynamic that they share with you is just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. Like, it's just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. I think that it's just going to hit them out of nowhere, and they're going to kind of realize that their actions don't align with their words, and their words don't align with their actions. They can't sit here and say they want to be happy with you and then bring nothing but hell and high water into this relationship, into your life. Both things cannot be true. Both things cannot be true. They can't sit here and say, you know, that they want the two of you to just be closer and then do everything under the sun to push you away. Both things cannot be true. Both things cannot be true. Both things cannot be true. And I think that this person is like realizing, like, on their own, because I don't feel like there's like a conversation that this person's having with someone else that's creating this light bulb moment for them. I don't feel like it's a conversation that this person is having with you that's creating this light bulb moment or anything like that. I just kind of feel like it's more of that like reflective energy of them thinking back on what they said and thinking back on what they did, and like coming to terms with the fact that their words are not aligning with their actions, and their actions are not aligning with their words. Because both things cannot be fucking true. They can't sit here and say that, you know, they don't want to lose you, but then do everything under the sun to lose you. They can't sit here and say that they want the two of you to be happy, but then turn around and bring nothing but toxicity and chaos and hell and high water all up in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, they can't, both things can't be fucking true. You know what I mean? And I think this person is like coming to terms on their own, because I feel like this is something that they're realizing on their own, without your help, without your assistance, without anybody's, you know, help and assistance. They're coming to terms with this on their own, that the reason why things have been the way that it has been between the two of you is because their words don't match up with their actions. Their words don't match up with their actions. And this is them realizing that their words don't match up with their actions. And like I said, and I'm not trying to like justify this person's behavior or anything like that, because I'm not. I mean, I understand like why all of this is like occurring between the two of you. It has a lot to do with their level of immaturity. That's what it all kind of boils down to. It has a lot to do with their level of immaturity. That's it. There's nothing more to this. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is kind of why this has been going on within this dynamic that they share with you. It's like they tell you that they love you and they legit actually mean it, but then they turn around and do things that make you think, believe, and feel like they don't love you. But it's kind of like, how do I explain what this person does? I'm trying to like really paint a picture here. Yeah, like, for example, this person will go as far as to sit there and tell you, like, you know what, like, Gemini, like, I love you, and I just cannot picture nor fathom, you know, my life without you. But then, boom, here comes an argument, right, between the two of you, and it's like, Here they are making you feel like they don't love you, like they don't care about you, and you just simply don't matter, to them. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is like what I'm talking about here, because I feel like this only really occurs between you and this person, where their like words don't really align with their like actions, is when something's going on between you and them, like a really big fight, a really big argument, or a disagreement, or like them, doing things on their end to like get even with you, because you put them through this, down the third, so they feel just, and, returning the favor, like I feel like they only get this way when there is a fight / argument going on between the two of you, or you're doing something, to upset them or something like that. Is basically what I'm getting. That's when this person's words don't really like match up with their actions, is basically what I'm getting. But again, it just kind of stems from like, their level of like immaturity. I just kind of feel like when this person gets really angry and really upset, they do a lot of things without thinking. They do a lot of things without thinking. Yeah, they do a lot of things without thinking. And they say a lot of things without thinking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, Gemini, they're coming to terms with this on their own, and they're basically realizing that if they continue to show up in this dynamic that they share with you, constantly making excuses for their actions and their behavior, and constantly justifying their actions and their behavior, constantly operating from a place of ego and pride, because the Five of Swords can definitely represent that, and allowing their emotions to get the best of them, because this could also indicate that it's going to cause this person to potentially face an outcome with you that they basically don't want. That they basically don't want. And they're coming to terms with that. With the Eight of Swords to the Five of Swords coming out here, that creates a Three of Swords at play, which basically speaks of heartbreak, separation, breakup. They don't want all of that to happen here between you and them. They don't want all of that to happen here between you and them. They definitely don't. And they're realizing that if they keep this shit up here, if they keep this shit up over here, they're going to lose you. They're going to lose you. They're going to lose you. And they don't want to lose you. You gotta understand that your person comes off to me as somebody who shares a very strong and intense spiritual connection here with you. Okay? Like on a soul level, right? Let's not focus on like this 3D reality that y'all have going, with one another. Let's just focus on the soul really quickly here. On a soul level, they can feel you drifting away. They know it's not the same. They know it's not the same between the two of you. They can feel you drifting away. They can feel the massive disconnect happening here between the two of you. They can feel it. They can feel it. They know what it's like to feel connected to you, to feel one with you. They know what it feels like because they've already experienced it. And now it kind of looks like, as of lately, it's like they feel you drifting from them. They feel you detaching yourself from them. And even though this is not what they, technically speaking, want to happen, this is what's happening because they want to allow their ego to call the shots, because they want to allow their anger to get the best of them, because they want to be petty, because they had a bad day at work, or because somebody cut them off and now they're pissed. Now they're taking it out on you. And this constant justifying, their behavior, which basically causes history to repeat itself here in this entire situation. It's causing them to potentially face an outcome with you that they don't want to face or experience, let alone happen. Okay, let's go to the Two of Wands. Let's see what you decide to do in the end. I'm going to clarify the Two of Wands using a different tarot deck that has the cards in the upright as well as in the reverse. Tell me more about the Two of Wands. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I like it. Yeah, it's like you're finally like getting clear on what you want to do moving forward. Because again, we were getting that energy of you being unclear on like what you want to do moving forward. So with the Eight of Swords coming out here, it kind of looks like you're finally getting clear on what you want to do moving forward. And then we do have the Six of Pentacles out here. So Six of Pentacles basically represents an energy of, you know, balancing things out, making things right. It's basically like the minor to like the Justice card in tarot. So in the end, it kind of looks like what you're deciding to do in the end is to actually come together with this person and work things out in the end. And it does have a lot to do with like what I already basically mentioned here to you, Gemini. Yeah, this person might do certain things that might dry hump your last nerve. You may not like the fact that this person tends to operate from a place of ego and pride sometimes. You may not like the fact that this person comes home from work and, you know, they're taking their anger and their frustration out on you because their boss is a real douchebag. You know what I mean? Like, you may not like these things about this human, okay? You may not like these things about this human. But at the end of the day, it's like this connection as well as this person does bring far more good into your life than bad. Again, it's like that 80-20. You know, it's like there's 80% of this person that you really, really do like. There's 80% of this connection that you really, really do like. It's just that fucking 20 that you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I just can't stand dealing with this person's ego and their pride and them constantly justifying things and doing this and doing that. Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, your person is far from perfect. I think that it's safe to say that we are all far from perfect. You know what I mean? Your person's not perfect. They're not perfect. There's definitely things that, you know, this person needs to essentially work on. And it has a lot to do with this right here, this constant operating from a place of ego and pride, this constant justifying their behavior, this constant, yeah, it's just this constant, you know, vicious cycle, you know what I mean? That they allow themselves to continue to like become a thing in this dynamic here between the two of you. It's it's basically what makes this relationship not so pleasant at times, you know? And with the Hierophant coming out here, you know, the Hierophant, you know, it does speak of like, you know, it does speak of major life lessons. I feel like, you know, the universe is trying to get this person to like master, you know, this lesson already and stop allowing history to repeat itself within this dynamic. I just kind of feel like Spirit, you know, continues to send this person the same lesson over and over and over and over again in hopes that, you know, they'll master this lesson and move past this test. You know what I mean? But it's like they just keep doing it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But see, I don't know. There's something about this particular incident that happened here between the two of you that's like really like, I don't know. There's something about this particular incident that's really causing this person to like realize that they can't keep doing this shit no more. Like, they can't keep fucking up and then turning around and justifying it. They can't keep operating from a place of ego and pride and expecting you to remain with them. You know, it's like, I don't know, there's something about this particular like incident that's like causing them to like really realize, you know, like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I can't keep doing this. Like, how do I explain what they're doing here? It's like, they know why they did what they did. They know why they did what they did. And granted, they may feel just in why they did what they did, but it's still wrong. It's still wrong. It's still not right. You see what I mean? And see, that's kind of like the difference that we're seeing with this person compared to like that Page of Swords, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords energy that we were kind of getting off of them. It's like, it was that energy of like, yeah, like I did this and I did that. And like, you know, I shouldn't have done this and I shouldn't have done that. And I shouldn't have spoken to Gemini in this way. And I shouldn't have treated them like this. But, you know, I had a bad day at work. Like, geez, you know, it's like, well, you know, Gemini really did upset me. It's like, geez, you know what I mean? And it's like, we kind of see that energy finally changing on their end. You know, now we see them falling into this energy of, yes, I did this and I did that, and I shouldn't have done that. I know why I did this. I know why I reacted this way towards Gemini. I know why I got upset with Gemini. I know why I came home and I just went off on them, and it was because I was having a bad day at work, but it's not right. There's like that difference there, right? Of them realizing, but it's not right compared to that other energy that we were getting from them. It's like, oh, but I did what I did. And it's like, you know, like, what the heck? You know, it's not a big deal. Like, you know, I had a bad day at work. Like, you know, like, suck it up, buttercup. And it's like, now they're hitting the energy of like, it's not right. It's not right. So we are seeing some progress here. We are seeing some growth here. I'm going to give it to that. We're seeing some progress. We're seeing some growth here. It's like they're realizing that, for one, they're wrong. And for two, the way that they've been showing up in this dynamic is causing you to retract your energy. It's causing there to be a massive disconnect between the two of you. It's creating a lot of unhappiness within this relationship, which is not what this person wants. It's like they're realizing that their actions and their behavior is leading down a path of losing the very thing they don't want to be without, which is basically you and this dynamic that they share with you. It's like they're realizing that their ego has been taking them down this path that could potentially prompt them from losing you for good, which is not what they want. So this is like a moment of, like I said, a realization that they're having here, that this way of being, it doesn't benefit them. Like, screw you for a second. I'm sorry, Gemini, but like, screw you and everything that happened here between the two of you. Like, this place that they've been operating from, they're realizing it doesn't benefit them, because it puts them in that predicament to lose the very thing that they want in the end, which is basically you. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? And it's like, so that's what I'm saying, is that I do think that we're going to have, like, you know, I think that we're going to definitely have an energy coming from them of, yeah, I think that we're going to start to kind of like have an energy of them like growing and evolving and like maturing, you know, as an individual. Because like I said, and again, it's like, no offense to you, it's no offense to you, but it's like, I think that that's what this person's like, kind of like, you know, like, and it's not to say like, you know, screw you, Gemini, you don't matter in this entire situation, because you totally do. Because at the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to, dude. Like, they don't want to lose you in the end. Like, that's it. That's it. They don't want to lose you in the end, but they've been going down this path of doing everything under the sun to lose you. You see what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It's weird, because I feel like for a while, this person thought that by operating from this place is going to, like, I don't fucking know, benefit them in some way, shape, or form, by being this way, by treating you this way. And it's like, okay, let's not think about Gemini for a second, everything that's going on here between the two of you. They're realizing it's taking them down a path that doesn't even benefit them. You see what I mean? It doesn't even benefit them. It don't even benefit them, because if you up and leave them, they're going to be fucking devastated. They're going to be heartbroken. You see what I mean? But I feel like they're finally realizing that the way they've been showing up in this dynamic that they share with you, it just doesn't fucking benefit them, because they're going to end up heartbroken and devastated in the end. It doesn't benefit them. And they're realizing, like, this doesn't benefit me, because I'm going to end up pushing Gemini away. I'm going to end up losing the very woman I don't want to be without, or the man that I don't want to be without. And I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to be devastated. I'm going to be distraught. You know what I mean? It's like they're starting to kind of realize that now. You know what I mean? Something that they didn't realize before is basically what I'm getting. Because I don't know. It's like I just kind of feel like this person like kind of found themselves on like the only fucking high horse, toxic high horse. Let's call it that. A fucking toxic high horse. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Like this person found themselves on the only fucking toxic high horse. In the end, to just realize like, wait a second. Like this path is taking me down a road that I don't want to be on, because now they see. Now they see, you know, they finally fucking see that all it's really doing here is causing them to lose the very person that they don't want to lose, which is basically you. And they know. They know exactly how they're going to essentially feel and experience if in the event they were to ever lose you. And it's not going to be a good feeling. It's not going to be a good experience. Like, this is them essentially realizing all of this now. It's like it's finally fucking hitting them. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and then we also have the Three of Wands, as well as the Ace of Swords. So, like I said, it looks like you're deciding to work things out with this person in the end. Now, I feel like you're being very smart about how you're moving forward with this. Why do I have these cards in my hand? Where did you come from? Oh, it came from this deck, sorry. But I feel like you're being very smart about how you plan on moving forward. You know, this to me feels like an energy of, yes, you giving them and this dynamic between the two of you like a fair chance, you know what I mean? Because you want to be with them and you do want to make this work. But I feel like there's this energy of like you preparing yourself for things to essentially go left between the two of you. Like, for example, let's just say that you guys like share a home with one another, just for example. If in the event this person does something that you essentially feel you just can't continue to deal with and or tolerate, like I see you having something in place where you could just get up and go. You see what I mean? But that's only going to apply for those of you who like share a home with this person, I guess. Like, you know, like you might decide, let me save up some money just in case this person continues to put me through this, just in case this person continues to put me through that, because, you know, if they do, you know, at least I have the option, at least I have the choice, at least I have the resources to get up and go. You see what I mean? Like there's something about you hoping for the best, but preparing yourself for the worst and having a game plan on how you're going to execute this if in the event shit hits the fan, if in the event shit goes south. So you're being very smart about it. We have the Fool, we have the Queen of Wands, and then we also have the Strength card. Whatever did happen here between the two of you, I do see you deciding to just kind of let it go and just kind of leave it in the past. But again, it's like you're being very, very smart about how you're moving forward with this person. Like very, very smart. I am definitely getting that. You're being very smart about it. It's like hoping for the best, but definitely preparing yourself for the worst. And like I said, it's like there's like this like plan I feel like you're going to already have in motion if in the event shit hits the fan and goes south. Like there's going to be a plan that you're going to have like in motion. Obviously, you're hoping that you don't have to ever use this, you know, plan that you have if in the event things do go south. But I think that it's going to feel pretty damn good for you to at least have that, you know, like plan, like, you know, that plan just in case things go south, you know, between the two of you. Like you're going to be good. You're going to know exactly, you know, yeah, you're going to know exactly what you have to do. You know what I mean? To make sure this transition, at least for you, is a smooth one. Like, say, for example, you guys share a home with one another. Like, you might make it like your only mission and priority to like save up money for if in the event things do go south and you guys do break up and then they end up leaving the house. You know what I mean? At least, you know, like you saved your money. You don't have to worry about, you know, you don't have to worry about money because you made it your only mission and priority to put some money to the side, you know what I mean? Just in case things don't work out between the two of you and then they end up leaving, you know, the house. Or you might, like I said, save up some money just in the event, you know, just in case, in the event things do go south between the two of you. At least you have some money to the side, where you could go off and get your own place, or, you know, your own like apartment, you know, things of that nature. So yeah. Or even like a roommate situation too, because I am definitely getting that for some of you out there. It's like, if in the event things don't work out between the two of you, I kind of feel like there could be, you know, some type of like agreement between you and like a friend, or like you and like a family member, like, hey, like I'm going through this and this and this, like, you know, not saying that this is going to happen, but, you know, if this does happen where, you know, me and this person, we don't work out, like, you know, is it okay, you know, if I move back home? Is it okay, you know, if we get a place together and we split everything? Like, I just kind of feel like you're preparing yourself for the worst. Hoping that the worst doesn't happen, but definitely preparing yourself for the worst. I am definitely getting that. All right, so that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.